I know I do not look video ready, but I was highly demanded to see if I can please do the tutorial video on, let me just show you this bad boy here. So before I get into doing this, I have to explain a few things to you guys. For those who are beginners, for those who are experts, skip past this, that's great. But a few things that I need to explain is the materials and what I did to the shoe to remove the top layer off. So just give me 1 second. Excuse me, I am 5 months pregnant, so just bear with me here. I have my resting face. So this is the other shoe. As you can see, for the most part, I got 98% of the suede off, which is this here. I left a little bit on there so you guys can see. All I literally did, if you guys have suede like shoes, all I literally did was rub it off. Now, get a rag. Probably be easier. You won't rub your thumbs raw like I did, but basically, as you can see what's falling, it does come right off. So let's get that. Which, if you look at the video that I posted yesterday afternoon, it looks completely different than what it does now. So now that I finally got it all completely off, finally, it did take me about half an hour, 45 minutes. If I don't stop, a half an hour at the most, I want to say, but alright, it's all off, so now I'm left with a nice smooth. Now you can leave it as is. It does make it look like a brand new shoe, in my opinion, but I'm a crafter. You can't just leave things blank. That's how I feel about it. So I'm here to show you guys how to make it from this to this. So let's get to it. We see a little bit of the color. So let's move this beauty out the way. What you're going to need is an old pair of heels. If it's your first time messing with shoes and you don't know what temperatures to use your irons on or whatever tools you are using to adhere the adhesive, I would recommend looking it up or whatnot. But if you have an old pair like I do, which these were actually given to me as they were all jacked up and stuff, but I was okay with that because they were not in bad condition. As you can see, they just had the rub off, so I figured I can probably just add some vinyl on it and call it a day. But then when I noticed I can just rub it right off, gave myself a brand new boot. I was like, what? So what I needed was, like I said, first time doing it, get an old pair, go to a thrift store, check in your closet for shoes that you don't use anymore. Again, so that way if you mess it up with your iron, if you melt it, if you, whatever the case may be, screw up, don't come at me. I'm letting you know now, use an old pair before you go purchasing a pair and ruin them and then blame me. No. So, old pair, first and foremost. What you're going to do is get your scraps. I have an entire bin, tote, and several Ziploc bags, so big freezer bags, and grocery store bags full of vinyl. I also wanted to show you guys. Now, let's just pretend the plastic is no longer on and you have been throwing this away. You're just throwing money away. Keep the scraps that don't have the plastic. It can still be used. What you need for that is this. So this is this now. Put it over this, iron it, it will work. It still has, like, Come on, ladies, let's get it, you know? So it doesn't have to have the plastic. Keep it with or without plastic. You want to keep it. I cannot stress this enough. I know so many ladies that are throwing it away, and it's losing my mind. I'm losing my mind for you guys. So, not only that, keep these pieces. And then what you're going to do, scissors, you want to kind of clean up the edges a little bit. If you're doing triangles as I did. If you're not doing triangles, then by all means, you can go ahead and just do this for all I care. You know, you can have different weird, odd shapes, as you can see, you know. Doesn't have to be triangles. You can chop them up into a million different pieces and slap that thing on there. It is totally up to you. But I figured the triangles kind of gave it like a mosaic. So all I did was literally, you know, like cut different, literally different size triangles. They don't have to be the same, as you can see. Okay. Oops, that was not work. As you can see, I have, let's move this out of the way. I have already pre-cut a nice bit of different size triangles, different shaped triangles, as you can see. They're regular size, long, little, okay? Different sizes. That's what you want. Different size of whatever. Like I said, if you're going to go crazy and not care for what shape it looks like, that still works. Trust and believe. I'm working on other projects that I am just chopping it up like crazy. And when you put the pieces together, they look really awesome. So you want to prep yourself. You want to already make sure the shoe is, you know, cleaned off as much as you can possibly get cleaned off. If you want to go ahead and spray paint the shoe, add a different color to it using fabric, dyes, and stuff like that, by all means. If it's not black, go right ahead. Possibilities are endless when it comes to crafting. Please keep that in mind. But you also want to be prepared, so you're not sitting here doing like I did with the first shoe and just going with the flow. That's normally how I craft. If you guys are trying to figure out what this is, it is light. It helps me. I place it as is. Oops, sorry. And I bring it down, so as I'm working on what I'm working on, it just makes things a lot easier to know. So the materials you're going to need is an old pair of shoes, like I stressed enough. Scrap vinyl, pair of scissors to chop that up. Like if you have those hole puncher, 1-inch hole punchers, you want to put circles on it. By all means, it's really up to you. Don't base it off and copy. I mean, if you want step by step and exactly how I did this shoe, by all means, go for it. You know, I personally won't get mad because I put it up there for you guys to, you know, get a different idea on what you can do. But not only you're going to need your scraps, your shoes, pair of scissors to cut that down. I used an old shirt to get this fringe. Okay, they do sell the fringe at the craft stores where you can buy them by the yard, inches, or however you want, however much you want. But now let's say you have an old shirt inside your closet that you're just not using and you notice that it has fringe, ladies. So I did chop up this shirt like it was nobody's business. And I just literally cut the fringe off. So the fringe was on the shirt. Never really wore the shirt. Never really cared too much to wear the shirt. But sure as hell gave me a lot of fringe to use on other future projects. But the very top part of the fringe is what, you know, I liked it the most. It's way thicker than the underneath parts, as you can see. Let me show you real quick. This one just has like a thin, you know, banner to hold your fringe in. This one has a more like braided, and it's way thicker. So it holds that bad boy in a lot better. And I chose the, you know, front of the shirt fringe, the very top, my apologies. And basically, how I'm going to attach this is I'm going to start from here. Okay. Add it to this line here that I have here. Where's my little clippy? Use one of these. These bad boys come in handy. Just to demonstrate. I did measure this already, so I have exactly, as you can see, it makes it all the way. So how I attached this was with needle and thread. I went through it several times, make sure that bad boy was not going anywhere. You can also go ahead and purchase heat and bond. What this is, it comes in a roll. They come in sheets. They come in all different colors, sizes. I mean, you name it. They come in, like I said, you know, this one is just, you sew this, you know what I mean? There's iron ones. I mean, they're all pretty much iron, as you can see. So, it works if you're not a sewing type person. So, if you do not sew, this comes in handy. But I did not want to spend all day doing this, depending if I screwed the shoe up, if I didn't, you know. It's trial and error, to be honest with you, until you get the hang of it, that you know what works best for you. But being that these are going to be go-out shoes and, you know, want them to kind of last and not have no problems with maybe, you know what I mean, and getting caught and it, you know, start detaching or whatnot, the needle and thread is just going to secure things in a lot more. If you have a sewing machine, that's also great. I literally hand stitched it. So due to the fact that I hand stitched it, this came in handy. You can use anything that's not going to pierce through. The needle's not going to pierce through. This helped me push through this thick material, so it definitely helped with the stitching for all the way around for this bad boy, okay? So a lot of people also question, how the hell did I get the vinyl on there? Now, like I was telling you guys, the pieces without the plastics curve way better. So you can, wrong shoe. So literally, I can go ahead, okay? Now, parchment paper. You have to have parchment paper, okay? It's like I stress to you guys, if it does not have plastic, parchment paper becomes your plastic, okay? Let me show you. So, I just use a little bit because you're working in small sections. You don't really need, you know, a whole big old piece. So, little square is good enough. Okay, go right on top. Now, since the shoe is completely, let me turn this, let me explain to you guys. Now, I don't work for Cricut. They're not sponsoring me or anything, but I have to stress how great, how amazing, how much this has changed my crafting life. I probably will never use a different iron. This is the iron that I'm probably going to use for every single project, unless it's a huge order, then I'll use my bigger ones. But this is my new best friend. I cannot go wrong with this. This allowed me to get to the tips, to the cracks, to where the other one would have been tremendously difficult to use with holding it, two hands trying to, it's a difficult process. I've tried in the past. That's why I gave up on doing shoes and small items, because it's just not worth it. So now it's ready. I always set it for the second one. Reason is why is because it's only been 5 days that I've had it and I'm still testing it out. The shoes were one of my testers and thankfully it was a success. So let me show you how to attach one of these. So let's say, okay, for example, I want to excuse me, now I got hiccups. Put that there. I take my piece, okay, and literally put that thing in place like that. It's take this guy. Make sure you're watching what you're doing. Don't burn yourself and blame it on me. And I literally hold it for a few seconds on one part. And I literally just... and I stop. And I know it's not 100% on there, but it's on there enough. Let's pop this off. It's getting in my way. It's on there enough for me to be able to relax the paper a little bit and go right ahead, and you can leave it and just move it. You don't want to leave it too much because, like I said, you don't know the shoe's capability of withstanding as much heat as it can. So, bada bing, bada boom. And just to do the point, because a lot of people asked about that. So, it's on there. You see that? It is on there. And then, take it and you want to make sure all those corners. Now, you can do what I did. As long as it's on there for the moment, move on to the next piece. And then, when you have several on them, then you can go ahead and take your time and pass. You don't have to spend, unless you're that OCD, trust me. I know a lot of people that are, but you can go ahead and take your time and make sure every single piece is heated on there 100% of the way, but I mean, it's on there, okay? Ooh, we saw a little bit of that glitter. So it's on there. So what you're gonna do is sprinkle these pieces on the table. Now, how I did that is I literally separated and gapped it in between. I just figured I'd choose whatever pieces. Now, this one has the plastic. Now, if you don't have scraps that that do have the plastic on it, that also works into your favor because it actually allows you to just go directly and heat it on there. Now, again, you just need enough to heat it on there, and as you can see, the plastic will lift itself off. And you take this and you just go right ahead and play around with it. Look underneath, you know, make sure you get it. And bam. Okay, so hopefully, let's see, where's my light go? Where are we at? So as you can see, best that I can show you, but if I get close, you see how I left a gap in between? And then, this is the fun of crafting, is you want to pick small and large pieces to kind of, you want to do your own mosaic, if that makes any sense. So, you're going to have the shoe in hand, so you want to go ahead and play around and just, like I said, it does work great if the plastic's already on there, but again, you're going to be going from plastic to parchment paper, so it just allows you to see. So, like, for instance, if you're working on doing this, and you can see exactly, it placed exactly where you had it. And you can go ahead and pull the plastic off. Start stacking those on top of each other because they get everywhere and it's a pain in the neck to grab them all. Then, again, parchment paper. And just go ahead. Just secure it on there. Like I said, you will be passing this over the entire shoe as you go. Now, my best recommendation is to stuff the shoe. It makes it more firm, but I'm just showing you guys at the moment. But let's get up close so you guys can see. You see how I'm leaving a gap in between each triangle I place. And you just want to go ahead and continue to do that. Now, sorry, I didn't mention. Some shoes, depending on the boots, will have stitching on it, as you can see. So I took advantage. Like this one has the stitching here. in here, and then it has it down the middle. So what I did, I'll show you in here, since it's already done. Smooth the fringe. All I did, let's see if I can get up in there, but you see, all I did was add them. Sorry, it's probably the most worst video ever. Tutorial, but it's in there. So same big and small pieces. That's what you want. And basically, I stood inside of this. So I left this alone. I mean, if you want to go ape crazy and go ahead and fill everything up, again, that's on you. The more the glitter, the better. The more it reflects. You know, the more you have on there, the more light will shine down on them shoes, and you're going to be a conversation all that night. So basically, I'm just going to go ahead and be quiet for a second and just try to go ahead and you want to, I don't even listen to my own advice, but what you also want to do is don't put too many big pieces in one corner, you know what I mean? Take the different sizes and work them in. It gives it a better look. That's just my opinion, but again, it really depends on the size that you cut. And like I said, once you have an idea, and if you feel like the iron isn't doing anything when you pass it back and forth, it's because one thing I learned with it is I have to leave it sit for a second and then let it go. So let me see which way I want to go with this piece. Too big. You just got to play around and figure out, you know, and remember, they're sisters, not twins. So unless you're doing exact placement, which takes tedious work, takes an OCD to do. I hate using that word, but it's true. So let me show you guys so far. As you can see, let me get up close. All I'm doing is literally just gapping them through. So, like I said, I'm going to stop when I get to here, fill it all the way up till I get to here. Get on this side, do this part here, to the back. Let me show you in the back. Seam. Triangles just help you get into certain corners better, you know. But again, depending on the shoe, depending if you want to do polka dots or, you know, whatever you feel. But I do recommend be careful. Don't know how much to stress that. You guys are going to be like, man, paying attention to her, I got burned. It's not my problem if you get burned, because that means you was not listening to the instructions. You see? And boom, that's all you're going to keep doing. Just going to keep going and going and going and going until, hey, you're done. So I will continue this video after I get more of this place on there, so I can basically continue to speak to you guys more about this. So I will be back in a little bit.